Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. I hope everyone's enjoying themselves. My name is Carolina. I'm a team lead for Mason Frank out of our New York office. And this is Robert.
Hi guys, my name is Rob Woodhouse. I am a specialist Salesforce recruiter for Mason Frank. So just before we get started, we do have salary surveys for everyone. So we did a presentation yesterday and everybody was pulling out their phones, looking at salaries, that sort of stuff. And I think the people that were presenting got blinded by the amount of flashing cameras in their eyes. So we have salary surveys for everyone. Also, we'll be giving away this little bad boy, an Xbox One after. All the salary surveys have a raffle ticket attached to it. So in about 15 minutes, one of you lucky people will have a new Xbox to take home. So yeah, let's get started. So every year, Mason Frank International, we're the global leaders of Salesforce recruitment, right? And we basically, all the placements that we make, we take a load of data and basically analyse all the placements we make. And yeah, what we do, we put together our salary survey. What we're going to be going through today will be what can you do to increase your earning potential, what certifications can you get, what new technologies, and just analyse what we're seeing in the Salesforce market. So yeah, we've got 160 consultants worldwide, and we've supplied nearly 5,000 clients with Salesforce professionals. So yeah, we're quite proud of that because we've placed more Salesforce professionals than anyone else globally. As you can see, we've got some of our clients here as well. So at Salesforce.com, right, we're going to create over 2 million jobs in the next 3 years. It's been a common recurring theme right away throughout Dreamforce about the amount of jobs that are being created. And yeah, we're creating around 25,000 vacancies on a yearly basis. Continuing to highlight Salesforce professionals like yourselves and placing you into new jobs, into companies, and really progressing your career. So this is the average surveys that we're seeing. This is the bit where I'm sure everyone wants to take out their photos, but you will get this information. So around 4 to 7 years of experience is around when typically someone will move jobs within Salesforce. When you get to 4 years, people will start looking at a new opportunity. And as you can see, what tends to be the common theme is the more technical you go, the more coding, the more experience you have, and as technical you go, it tends to be a correlation with how much money that you will actually earn. And location is a big thing, and what we did, we highlighted the 5 locations where we had made the most placements over the last couple of years. So San Francisco, New York, Boston, Chicago, and Austin, Texas. So we tried to give everybody a good spread across the states. So yeah, as you can see, some of the salaries there. Like I say, you'll get all this information at the end, so don't try and note down all the salaries depending on where you live. And similar with contract rates. Contract hourly rates, I'm not sure how many of you are contractors and how many are permanent, but what we've found is right away from administrator to functional consultant, the rates don't tend to vary that much. They tend to vary on industry and what company, what vertical that company's in, until you get to a development level. So you become a senior developer, a really strong object-oriented programmer, into being a technical architect. You tend to earn a lot more money on an hourly rate. That seems to be a common recurring theme, which Carolina is going to go through later in terms of what you can get experience with and how that will impact how much money that you can earn moving forward. I'll touch on projects and technologies, but Lightning tends to be what we've seen over the last year. Lightning really impacts how much money you can earn in this market. A lot of companies now are really, last year people kind of adopted Lightning. Now everybody is going to be on Lightning, I'd say within the next year or so. Salesforce are really pushing that very hard. All the apps that are coming out, they're all Lightning ready. So if you can get experience with Salesforce Lightning, again, it's going to impact your earning potential. And this is the technologies. What we do, we are constantly talking to lots of professionals right the way throughout the industry. Now, what we do, we put together a chart of all the technologies within Salesforce. So, starting with Sales Cloud and ending with Thunder, right? So the oldest technology right the way through to the newest. And the reason we put this on here is if you're towards the sort of left-hand side of that chart, you're looking at sales, service cloud. That's what everyone gets experience with when they first get introduced to Salesforce, more often than not. But then let's say you're a developer, for example, and you want to get more experience with, if you go back one more slide.
Oh, right.
So if you look at, if I choose Heroku, for example, if you're a really good developer out there at the moment and you've got experience with lots of other frameworks in maybe a previous life before Salesforce, the chances are you're going to be able to pick up Heroku fairly easily. So if you can really expose yourself to Heroku, then any project that has Heroku experience, you're going to attract yourself to that customer. And trust me, from someone that works this market day in, day out, if you've got experience with Heroku, or maybe if you choose another technology like CPQ, it's a lot more marketable and you will earn a lot more money because of that. Moving on. And then certifications, huge parts of our industry that we all work in. It's the reason that everyone's here doing trailhead badges and everyone's here trying to upskill themselves. About 90% of the people that we place have certifications. You don't absolutely need one. It's not a prerequisite. However, it gives you massive advantage if you've got a certification over candidate B or C that doesn't have a certification. So now I'm going to pass you over to Carolina, who is going to be talking about the ways in which you can actually increase your earning potential, going into a bit more detail from the stuff that I spoke about.
All right, thanks, Rob. So going off what Robert said in our survey, we put together 7 different points that we think can help you increase your earning potential in 2018. The first one is certifications, of course. So there are a lot of different certifications out there. Which one's going to make me stand out? Our survey actually found there's a few rare ones that few people have. And as a recruiter, I get clients knocking on my door asking for candidates that have these types of certifications. And they're tough to find. One example is the Platform 2 cert. You'll find in our survey, few people have that one. Platform Developer 2. So if you are someone who has that certification, you are going to stand out from the crowd. There's going to be people looking for you. And along with that, you should really try and match your certifications with what you're good at, of course. But if you only have Sales Cloud experience, you've never used Service Cloud, it could be very impressive that you went out there, you took the courses, and you took the exam, and now you also are an expert in that area. Number 2, additional experience. So I have folks asking me all the time, Carolina, I only have a few months of experience. What can I do to land that job I want? What can I do to get my salary a little bit higher? And there's a lot of things you can do. So the great thing is that Salesforce provides an amazing online training that you can go on yourself and self-teach. Along with that, I always make a recommendation to reach out to your local nonprofits. With the nonprofit success pack, there's a lot of nonprofits that need some extra hands. So if you reach out to your nonprofits, I'm sure they'll really appreciate some pro bono work. That's a great way for you to get some extra experience to throw on your resume to make yourself stand out as a junior candidate applying for a higher level job. Number 3, find your niche. So Salesforce is a niche in itself. But what's going to make you stand out is if you really have some tailored experience to a specific industry or a specific product. So if you work in the healthcare industry and you're leading a health cloud implementation, that's awesome. There's going to be healthcare companies looking for you because they're about to do the same thing. Same with nonprofit. If you're an expert with nonprofits, really make that your focus. Understand what products integrate well with that, what sort of tools nonprofits can use that are going to really make them fully utilize the platform well, and just understand what sort of new technologies apply to certain industries and become an expert in that area. That'll help you stand out. Number 4, develop your coding skills. We're not all developers here. That's okay. But what we find on our salary surveys is that they just tend to make a bit more, and so do technical architects. So if that really is what matters to you, go out there and learn some Apex or really learn some heavy back-end coding, because those are the salaries we tend to see that are higher and that companies are willing to dish out a few more bucks for. Number 5 is tenure. So I think this applies to any industry in anywhere, really. But what you have to understand is what we're seeing now year after year with our salary surveys is that the average tenure for a Salesforce professional is about 2.5 years. So if you are someone who surpasses that, people are going to notice. When we look at resumes, we always look at how long you've been somewhere. But if you started as an admin at a company and you became a developer within a few years and then an architect all within that, and you stayed there for 5 years, you're going to stand out so much more than someone who was an admin for a year at 3 different companies. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Number 6, location. So you're not going to make as much money as an admin in Ohio as you are as an admin in New York. Of course, that's because of cost of living, but you will find that you can make a lot more in certain areas. Also, there's certain areas that just have a lot higher of a demand. Our salary survey will help you with that, but if you go to one of those areas, odds are people are willing to pay a bit more for what you got to offer. Along with that, travel. So there are some road warriors out there that travel 100%. These folks tend to make more money overall just because, they put in that extra time. They travel a lot to different maybe clients if they're a consultant. And what we find on average is those travel warriors, they tend to make higher salaries. Number 7, experience. This kind of goes off what Rob said as well. We showed you the technologies and how much experience everyone has with them. If all your experience is in Sales Cloud, that's okay, but what's really going to make you stand out is if you have experience with those newer ones or those ones that few people have experience with. So if you have a lot of Salesforce Wave Analytics experience, you're going to stand out. It's really tough for us to find someone like that. It's really tough for us to find candidates that have experience with those technologies at the end of that graph. So that's something that's really going to make you stand out. So how can you stand out from the crowd? Something that everyone should be focusing on is building your own brand as a candidate and really making yourself stand out. So there's a lot of ways we can do this. LinkedIn, community, trailhead badges, trainings, resumes, interviews. And basically, what you have to understand is LinkedIn is the thing that every employer is going to use to find you. Every recruiter at every company has a LinkedIn account, and they're sifting through trying to find folks like yourself. So make sure your LinkedIn looks amazing. Make sure it really represents you the way that you want to be represented. Throw all of the certifications that you have on there. There's also trailhead badges you can have put on your LinkedIn. If you don't know how to do that, I'm sure there's someone here that can help you figure that out. Also, people just kind of put, hey, I'm a Salesforce developer. I'm a Salesforce admin. But us recruiters and people searching for companies, we want to know more. So tell us more on your LinkedIn. Tell us what clouds you're using. Tell us what technologies you've integrated, what applications you've integrated. Tell us how big your user base is. That is really, really going to help when we do a LinkedIn search to make you pop up and be that candidate that we're like, wow, this is our person. And I promise you'll get more tailored LinkedIn messages and reach outs if you tailor your LinkedIn profile better. Along with that, I'm not here to give you resume tips or interview tips, but make sure that on your resume, you're highlighting all of these things as well as you would on your LinkedIn profile, any sort of technologies you've used, and any other certifications that you wish to get in the future. I think that's quite impressive. For example, I don't have the developer cert, but I anticipate getting that by 2018. Great, put that on there. That shows initiative. It shows us you're already out there doing something right now, taking a course that is going to get you to get new certification. So you don't have it yet, but you're getting there, and that shows employers a lot and recruiters a lot. Also, there's a huge Salesforce community out there. Just look around for the people that are in here. There's so many ways that you can mingle with people on Salesforce user groups. There's meetups, all sorts of things where you can meet people who have similar interests as you or in similar verticals as yourself, and you can really make a name for yourself and be that person in DC who's the best nonprofit admin in DC. So that's something to take into consideration as well. And yeah, guys, that's really it. Just basically really think of what you can bring to the table and own that. Salesforce is growing so quickly, and you really, really want to stand out from the person next to you. If you're still not sure what you can do, that's okay. That's what we're here for. we can help you. And there's a bunch of us here today, and there's a bunch of us all over the world. So reach out to us. We'll help you build a career plan. We'll help you assess what's realistic for you. If you want a certain amount in a certain city, we can tell you, hey, that's not going to happen. Or we can tell you, hey, actually, you could probably make more than that. So come see us, check out our survey, note any questions you want to make, and make sure you ask us. Again, join your user groups and become a trailblazer and meet the other trailblazer MVPs in your area.
Cool. Right. So, guys, in hopefully what we've gone through, has been good for you guys. So, if you're thinking like 3 takeaways, right? Right now we've probably flooded you with a load of information. Everyone's going to go on the salary survey. Probably flick to the back page to see how much you're getting paid and see if they're getting paid enough. And if not, you can probably take it to your boss and see if you can get a pay rise in the morning, I imagine. But right, so build your brand. As a candidate, you've all got a brand, you've all got a unique set of skills, and the main thing is building your personal brand. How can you make yourself more attractive to these prospective companies? Get certified, become a trailblazer. Salesforce has got so much upskilling that you guys can be doing just off your own back. And then come and chat with one of us at Mason Frank. On a one-to-one basis, we will go through exactly what you're looking for in your career. It's not about you're an administrator, so you're good for these 20 administrator jobs that we've got. It's about finding out exactly what you guys are looking for, and then we'll come together and we'll put together a plan of what you want from your career, and we'll do that.